Welcome to Earthly Reads, a My Cup of Earth production. The Secret of the Snowy Peak. On a snowy mountaintop, where the air was crisp and the sky was a brilliant blue, a little rabbit named Rosie lived in a cozy burrow beneath the roots of an ancient pine tree. Rosie loved nothing more than to snuggle up in her burrow, surrounded by the soft, fluffy blankets her grandmother had made for her, and listen to the whispers of the wind. As the winter days grew longer and colder, Rosie began to feel restless. She longed for adventure, for something exciting to happen in her quiet little life. One day, as she was exploring the snowy slopes, she stumbled upon a hidden path she had never seen before. The path was narrow and winding, and it seemed to disappear into the clouds. Rosie's curiosity was piqued. She had never seen a path like this before, and she wondered where it might lead. She decided to follow it, her little paws making tiny prints in the fresh snow. As she climbed higher, the air grew thinner and the wind grew stronger. Rosie's fur stood on end, and she shivered with excitement. She had never been this high before, and the view was breathtaking. She could see for miles and miles, the snow-covered peaks stretching out before her like a sea of white diamonds. But as the path began to wind around a particularly steep slope, Rosie felt a sudden jolt of fear. The snow was slippery and deep, and she knew that one wrong step could send her tumbling down the mountain. She hesitated, her heart pounding in her chest. Just as she was about to turn back, a gentle voice whispered in her ear, "Don't be afraid, little one. I'll be right behind you." Rosie looked around, wondering who was speaking to her, but there was no one in sight. She took a deep breath and continued up the path, her heart pounding in her chest. The voice seemed to be guiding her, and she felt a sense of calm wash over her. As she climbed higher, the snow grew deeper and the air grew colder, but Rosie pressed on, her determination growing with every step. Finally, she reached the top of the slope, and the path opened up into a beautiful meadow. The snow-covered peaks stretched out before her, and in the center of the meadow stood an enormous tree, its branches heavy with snow. Rosie approached the tree, her eyes fixed on the sparkling snowflakes that clung to its branches. As she reached out to touch the tree, the voice spoke again. "Welcome, little one. You have reached the secret of the snowy peak." Rosie looked around, wondering what the secret of the snowy peak could be. Suddenly, the tree began to glow with a soft, golden light. The snowflakes on its branches began to swirl and dance, and Rosie felt herself being drawn into the magic of the moment. The voice spoke once more. "The secret of the snowy peak is that of kindness and generosity. It is the secret of sharing what you have with others, and of being brave enough to take risks." Rosie's eyes widened as she realized the truth. She had been so focused on her own desires and fears that she had forgotten the importance of kindness and generosity. She felt a surge of shame and regret, but also a sense of hope and renewal. As she stood there, surrounded by the golden light of the tree, Rosie felt a sense of peace and contentment wash over her. She knew that she had been given a special gift, a reminder of the importance of being kind and generous. As she made her way back down the mountain, Rosie felt a sense of purpose and direction that she had never felt before. She knew that she would always carry the secret of the snowy peak with her, and that she would strive to be kind and generous to all those around her. From that day on, Rosie lived a life filled with kindness and generosity. She shared her blankets with her friends, and she helped those in need. She took risks and faced her fears, and she discovered that the world was a much brighter and more beautiful place when she did. And every time she looked up at the snowy peak, she remembered the secret of the snowy peak, and the magical journey that had brought her to that place of discovery and growth. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.